Hi, friends. Welcome back. Welcome to Podmas. And if you don't know what that means, it means podcast Christmas. Okay, so I'll be making a podcast every day until Christmas. So all those episodes that I owed you, it's basically like that never happened. Okay, let's pretend that that's how this works. Okay, welcome. I have so many things to talk to you about. It's been so long. So of course there's pop culture stuff to talk about. There's so much Wicked. I mean, there's Wicked everything, Wicked everywhere. Cynthia, Ariana, all the things. Okay, so we're gonna definitely dive into that, but I'm going to probably do an episode tomorrow about that, like a full episode, because I think that's what it deserves. Okay, both of those ladies hopefully will be getting Oscar nominees. Oh, actually, well, they'll get nominations for sure. Will they win is the next question. Okay, but we'll talk about that more on tomorrow's episode. But yeah, so much has happened, so many sports, so many. The NWSL championship was the other day. I'm trying to think what other sports things. The women's professional league just ramped up for hockey in the last couple of days. So many beautiful things. Sophia Bush's girlfriend, partner, Ashton Harris went on Carrie Champion's podcast. So, like, just stirring that up a little bit, a little mess, a little drama, right? In the world of pop culture and sports, like thriving, me, loving it, loving the comment sections, not trying to be ugly and nasty, but, I am enjoying it. All right. Speaking of beef, though, let's just dive right in. Okay. Um, Kendrick and Drake. Can you believe it? I can. I absolutely can believe it. Kendrick is a genius. He released an album called GNX, which apparently is a car. I didn't know that. And of course, there are shots at Drake embedded. There are a few things that people notice, Lil Wayne, that sort of thing. But it's basically a love letter to where he's from in LA. So I think of it less as like constant dissing because I don't think that that's what it is. But there's this like love letter to the people he loves. Okay. And yes, giving a slight to Drake at a lot of those times, but celebrating the place where he comes from. And like, how wonderful. How wonderful. Like this guy, I mean, I think we really have to talk about this man's range. Okay. You talk about To Pimp a Butterfly, like Pulitzer Prize winning prose. Okay. And then you talk about a Not Like Us, like an anthem, hood anthem, call it what it is, but pop culture anthem as well. TikTok hit, you know what I mean? Like the man's range is boundless. His freestyle phenomenal. We know that about the early days, right? But I just think we have to talk more about his range. And even within one album, right? Like he's talking that last song on the album, Gloria, and he's like talking about this woman and fighting with this woman and the impact that she's had on his life. And he's ultimately talking about his pen. Like that's the last line of the song. And it reveals to you that he is talking about his writing. And I don't know. I to me that is like genius level stuff. And I get it. People don't like to throw around the word genius. Not everybody is a genius. Obviously, that defeats the purpose of being a genius. But I think we have to give credit where credit is due. And when you can have a club banger, okay, which there are, Squabble Up is definitely going to be a club banger. Whacked Out Mural is a bit long to be a club banger, but it's fire. Like when the beat drops on that, and it drops multiple times because there's like a heartbeat sound early on, I think, and then eventually becomes like bass or 808s, and I'm just like, take it away. Like when I first heard it, I don't know if I was making this stank face. I don't know what people call it these days. I think people stopped doing it because it became very mainstream, and y'all know what I mean when I say that. But yeah, it just did something to me. Like I was like, if this is how we're gonna start, I'm in for a ride, and I was. And I've listened to the album. I don't know, upwards of legitimately in the last week, and it came out probably more than like a week and a couple days. I I think I've listened to it no less than 11 times because every time I get in my car, I just let it keep playing, keep looping. Between that and jumping to like a Wicked song, Defying Gravity, Again, we'll dive into that tomorrow. But GNX has been playing nonstop in my car. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I hope he gets all the awards for it, but it's not even about that. But I do feel like he's back in a different way. I think he got a lot of criticism about being like this social justice warrior and that his rhymes were not party worthy. And I think he has addressed all of that. This was not supposed to be a review on GNX. It was actually supposed to be talking about the Drake and Kendrick beef. And so Drake is suing Kendrick. Well, he's suing UMG. And it says, I quote, on November 25th, 3 days after Kendrick surprise dropped his new album, GNX, which, again, that's crazy, dropping out of nowhere. Who do you think you are? Beyonce. I love it. Drake filed a pre-action petition in New York courts against UMG and Spotify, alleging that the two companies colluded to inflate the streams for Not Like Us, thus boosting its popularity and impact via bots and payola, which, like, this would not be an abnormal thing. It's like something that Drake has benefited from, as far as I can tell, based on the internet, which is where I get all my information. But yeah, it just looks like a punk move. And listen, I've never been like the Drake stan, okay? There are some things he's done. He's moved very weird, and it has made me very suspicious. The man is talented. I will not take that away from him. And anyway, I'd love to see him do like an SNL situation. Like, I thought he was phenomenal on SNL. Like, I think he has missed the boat on his actual calling. Though I thought those early days of rap, phenomenal, great. My college days, couldn't find a hotter rapper, okay? I mean, of course, J. Cole too. But, like, couldn't find a hotter rapper. So, but I do think his new pivot, he needs to go back to the Jimmy Edwards of it all. I think it's time. I think let's do some acting. But that doesn't take away, he was being weird. He has been very strange, especially when it comes to the Black community, when it comes to women, like, doing a lot. Now, he's also suing for defamation, which, like, I guess, yeah, but you could have done that a long time ago when that man called you a pedo. You know what I mean? Like, that seemed like the good time. You know, like, before you rebutted and said that he was, like, hitting his wife and all of that, like, it would have been a good time to sue for defamation maybe then, you know, instead of saying, we leaked him all that info, all that fake info. Like, that's weird. It's giving real weird. So those are the two cases, the two suits he has against him right now. He probably won't win either, I can't imagine, because he also responded and said things about Kendrick. So it's like, I don't know why he would think it was like defaming, but it shows you how hurt he is. I mean, it really is. And even if that's somebody in his camp who chose to do that, which I can't imagine an artist like that someone in their camp can move in such a way, in such an embarrassing way, that, you know, he didn't okay that, which, like, is giving weird. Is giving, I'm a rapper from Canada who didn't grow up in American rap, Black culture. It's giving, I'm Jimmy Edwards, Degrassi. You know, I hate to say it. And I hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. But yeah, very, very strange behavior. Speaking of another pop artist that, you know, beloved, Beyonce, the most beloved, frankly, by me. Beyonce, there were rumors that she was meeting with people to go on, or she was going to announce her tour. So she's performing, I believe, Christmas Day for a Cowboys Texans. You know me in football. I don't really really get down like that. But Beyonce is performing at the halftime of a NFL game, and fans were going crazy. And they think, or there was a rumor that she might be announcing a performance, or excuse me, a tour, a full blown tour, which, like, I've been waiting for a Renaissance tour to come around again. Give me Cowboy Carter. We have no visuals. We have no anything to cling to. I mean, the woman has done no interviews. She just really is popping out, going to Michelle's debuts on Broadway, going to performances, sneaking around, having, you know, living her best life, frankly. But her fans are starved. And I'm sure she is doing that on purpose. She is the queen of teasing. And not don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean that in like the most fabulous way. Like she knows how to not oversaturate her fan base or oversaturate or give us too much. There is not enough that she could give us that I think it would be overdone. But at this point, like it is always so scarce that fans are always just like chomping at the bit to find what can we have? What can we have? When she doesn't give us videos, when she doesn't give us performances, she doesn't go to award shows, do all that anymore. Like tours where we're going to see her. So she will be performing at halftime of the NFL Christmas Game Day, streaming live on Netflix December 25th. And it will be the Houston Texans. She's from Houston, which I did know. So look at my NFL knowledge, versus the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so don't know if that's going to be a good game. I'll be tapped in simply for Beyonce because I don't even watch NFL games. It's brutal. That's too much for me. Also, the NFL has always moved weird. Okay. We have not forgotten. Colin Kaepernick in any way. But yeah, so I typically don't watch the game, but I will be tapping in just the same way I do for the Super Bowl. Now, I assume she has just simply done too many Super Bowls at this point. Like, she has to do a football game. She has to do halftime. Of course, give Netflix another special, they need it. I'm sick of like this trickle of like 5 episodes for their series. Like, get it together. You either have it or you don't. Okay. But stop trying to make fetch happen. 5 episodes, not it, Netflix. We are done with that. Cut it out. You already cut us down to like 8 episodes for most things, 10 episodes for some things, but like trickling, like feeding us like little birds. Like, oh, here's your little 5 episodes. Take that. Disaster. It reads disaster. The only time it has worked out for you is Outer Banks. Giving us the first 5 episodes was smart because the second 5 episodes, disastrous. Sunk your series. Okay? Something so beautiful, so lighthearted, and y'all tainted it. Like, to take out a beloved character like him in the last episode, listen, it would have been a really bad situation if y'all gave us all 10 of those episodes. So you had your little cute little run with the first 5. We were like, oh, we just can't wait. This is so much fun. And then the second 5, we were like, okay, we're done with this series. Like, it might as well not even exist. Season 5 might as well not even exist. Honestly, truly, not good. Back to the topic at hand, Beyonce. So she performed in 2013. Phenomenal. Arguably the best Super Bowl halftime performance. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on YouTube. I watch it annually, okay, at this point. Then, of course, you remember she came back with Coldplay and Bruno. Well, Coldplay was the headliner, and then Bruno was a guest, and Beyonce was a guest, and we got the iconic, that Black Panther look, and where she almost fell, and where her and Bruno are like dance battling with their backup dancers. Like, I just don't even know how she comes up with this kind of stuff. Okay. But it just led us into that homecoming era too. Like, you just think about the connection point from that Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl performance 2016. And then she goes into this homecoming. What is that? 2019? When the days were good. Can you remember 2019? Like, 2019 feels like yesterday. Y'all, that's about to be 6 years ago. Unwell. I'm unwell. But yeah, we remember the good old days. Beyonce performing 2016. The world hated her. I remember that. But can she do it again? Can she make the world hate her again? Or even more? Okay? And I hope she does. I hope it's like the blacketiest black thing that's ever happened. I hope that she upset so many people. Again, NFL, not the fan base for her. But I just need her to shut the internet down. Make the lights go out again. Do y'all remember that? Her performance, like the lights went out at the Super Bowl. After her performance, like phenomenal. When can you think of something as ludicrous happening? What a beautiful time. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that halftime performance. I think it's going to be phenomenal. And she deserves multiple Super Bowl halftimes, but we will take random game on Christmas if that's what we got to do. Okay, it'll be the first time she's performing Cowboy Carter well, we assume she's performing Cowboy Carter, which, like, what does a halftime, like, there are certainly upbeat songs in that second half, so you have to assume that's the part of the album she's going to be performing. But I just, like, don't even know. I don't even know what to expect. Y'all, I'm excited. Okay, now that we talked about Wicked for a second, I'm going to briefly talk about it again because I think this is a good talking point for today. Okay, I'm not going to necessarily talk about it too long in tomorrow's episode, but apparently there's supposed to be a hip hop version of Popular, which is ludicrous. Okay, and apparently Ariana was like, yeah, let's not do that, which, like, smart of her. Okay, Ariana doing a hip hop version of Galinda, and doing Popular. These musical theater kids would have stormed John Chu's office. It would have gotten bad. So grateful that he didn't do that, that they didn't do that, and stayed true to the script, but also made some beautiful changes. But we'll get into that more tomorrow. But I did need to speak my piece on that. Next pop culture thing, Dancing with the Stars wrapped up this week. And Joey Gradzadeh won. And y'all know me, I'm a Bachelor girl. That's my show. I'm in the Bachelor Nation, the Bachelor universe, though they can be very problematic, lacking diversity. Similarly to Dancing with the Stars in terms of the way that the end of the season went. But Joey was great. He got multiple perfect scores. He was one of the front runners for a long time. I think he was a surprise. He grew. All the things. But I must say, my girl Chandler Kinney deserves better. Okay? She got dragged the whole season. People were acting like she was some professional dancer, like she was freaking Charli D'Amelio. Okay? Charli, until we met her, was a everyday goes to a studio dancer, being trained daily. Okay? And she went on this show. She was phenomenal. I will never take that away from her. She was fantastic. And ballroom is not the same as all the, I think she did like jazz, contemporary, hip hop, that sort of thing. And so I will never claim that those are the two of the same things. They're not. They're so vastly different. But there are things that she took from her training that certainly helped her balance, her feet, her flexibility, all those things, her timing. And so to think that was not impactful is crazy. But more importantly, Chandler Kinney apparently stopped dancing when she was in like elementary school, like 9, 10. Okay. She's a showbiz kid in that, like, she was on Disney and all of that. And she's been in like Pretty Little Liars in an older age, but like, no. And the fact that she didn't win is ludicrous. There have been people like Hannah Brown who wasn't half as good as Chandler Kinney. But that brings up the other point. Like, the Bachelor fan base is crazy. Like, they vote like crazy. So you bring like a cute guy like Joey Gradzadeh, very palatable, very sweet, very nice. His fans love him. And like from a general audience standpoint as well, he's very lovable in that way. He's very humble. But so was Chandler. Like, Chandler, even when Carrie Ann, would give her a hard time and like say that she was pushing her and wanting more from her. And I can remember, I rewatched a few of the like Charli episodes recently, and like she was drawing and wanting emotion out of Charli, but I don't remember it feeling the same way. Like, the tone of it was so different. She got so many more boos, I feel like, with Chandler this season from the crowd, because the crowd saw what Chandler put out on the court. LOL, my basketball brain. Put out on the floor, and it just was undeniable. But yeah, it was deniable. Like, people in the comments, because I made several videos about Dancing with the Stars this week, and like, shout out to Derek Huff, he commented on a video twice, and Kelsey Anderson and Charity Lawson, like, wow, Bachelor Nation royalty for real. But royalty, that's funny. People were in the comments talking about, oh, well, when she brought up race, that made me not want to vote for her. She brought up race in the last episode because they didn't give them the due recognition of being, and they being Chandler and Brandon, the due recognition of being the first Black couple to make it to the finale. That's a Dancing with the Stars problem. And so they didn't do that. And it was finally brought up on the last episode, the finale. Now, they did go last. I don't think that helped them because, the voting shuts down immediately as the dance is over, right? If you're the last person, you have less time for people to vote for you. But that being said, I don't know that it would have been enough to overtake the Bachelor Nation. But I don't know. It was hard to watch Chandler, Kenny, and Brandon put so much thought and effort into their last dance. It had tributes to the Nicholas brothers, and they explained that like they were a tap duo, black tap duo, and so they paid homage to that. And you go into like my comments of me talking about the performance, and people are just so ridiculous. But it just shows you where we are in this country, so it's like not shocking. Like there are these really like uneducated people who just like won't open their minds and don't understand the importance of seeing black people in spaces for other black people, but also like Chandler having to be 3 times as good, 4 times as good as freaking Joey. And again, love Joey, but 4 times better than this man, only to come in 3rd place, to be 8 times better than Alona, and to come in 3rd place behind her in 2nd. And again, love Alona. Thought she grew so much. I loved her partnership with Alan. Like, I thought they were a match made in heaven. They were perfect together. But 3rd place is laughable. And I don't think Carrie Ann's reaction to her dances helped her. So someone like a Hannah Brown, okay, her fan base is built in already, right? Caitlin Bristow, her fan base is built in. But when you do that to someone who has what needs to be a growing fan base on the show, it's not helpful. And then you think back to like performers like Zendaya. Zendaya didn't win her season. And it's like, okay, at some point we've got to call a spade a spade. Like, general audiences have biases. And that's just the truth. And it always is the truth. And whether people like it or not, that is the situation. And I think Chandler probably understands that. And I think Brandon probably understands that. And they probably are very proud of the work that they put out there, and that they did what they wanted to do, and they felt convicted to do that performance. And I've seen videos of them saying that. But I want them to get their just due as well. I wanted Brandon to win his first Mirror Ball. I wanted Chandler to win her season, because she did all year, all season. Unbelievable, honestly. But I want to give a shout out to Danny Amendola. I became a fan. He's very sweet. He definitely was shooting his shot back at Julianne Hough. Julianne was definitely shooting her shot at the end of the episode too. She was, when they were all laying in that bed. And there was that weird awkward moment. Derek said something, was like, "What's going on?" Yeah. Huff was shooting her shot, and I love that for her. But Amendola, he seems like such a sweet guy. Whitney was the perfect partner for him, works hard. He's committed. He wasn't afraid of looking stupid. Jenna and Joey were a match made in heaven as well. Obviously, they won. Jenna's choreography is phenomenal. The So You Think You Can girls, Whitney, Carson, and Jenna they've been around great choreography for many years of their career when they were teenagers and they were on the So You Think You Can Dance show. I think that has cultivated their choreography. And then Alona and Alan, like I said, I thought that they were a match made in heaven. Their temperaments were perfect. Like, he's known as being like a hard coach. She plays rugby. She's used to hard coaching, yelling, all of that, and like being stern. But also she was willing to give it back to Alan. And I think Alan was scared of her at times. Like, she was not going to take any crap, but she could take coaching, which I thought was really important. Really important. Did y'all hear that? Was there okay. I think that's it, y'all. Pop culture recap for this week. Hopefully there's a lot going on this week that we can actually chat about. And I hope you listen to this like on your way to work or something. Or if you watch the video, you and the fam bam sitting around watching this video. Yeah, that's probably like one person in my family's doing that. But that's okay. I appreciate your listen, and I'm thankful. But the people going to work, hopefully you put this into like 1.5 speed and you were able to catch up on pop culture on your way to work. If so, I love you, and I hope you have a great day. And come back tomorrow, because this was just day 1 of Podmas. Look at my little tree. It's so cute, right? Just for this. It's like planted. It's right behind my Beyonce candle that one of my players got me. Oh, how cute. All right. See you tomorrow.